present. It's also about confidence. I think majority of you who are thinking about creating your business plans and thinking about whether it's a product or a service or something, it's all about what is it that you want your audience to leave knowing, and not letting any opportunity, whether it's meeting someone in an elevator, meeting someone in a hallway at a networking event, you don't want any opportunity to meet people by chance go to waste. And today we're going to be talking somewhat about your pitch, but really about presence and putting your story together so that the person who's receiving the message understands what you're selling and how they could be a part of it. So if I can just hear from everyone on the call, what are some things around public speaking do you believe might be a challenge? Yes, Jeremy.
With public speaking, I probably think that confidence might be a challenge because I never was really for public speaking. I always get nervous and I wouldn't know what to come up with on the spot. So if I ever did, I would like have something to, read off of because I just get nervous when there's a lot of people watching me and when I mess up, it's even worse. So
All right, Jeremy, that's a real fear that a lot of people have. And if I could just say one stat, they actually about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, they did a survey and they just asked people like, what do you fear most? And if not, everyone said public speaking. Public speaking is probably the most feared thing for most people. People said, I'd rather not be alive than to speak in public. So that just goes to show you where people are in terms of feeling fearful around public speaking. Who else would like to go? I see another hand raised, but I just see a heart. I see heart dashes. So I don't know.
That's Bonnie.
Oh, I just saw hearts and dashes.
Sorry,
So,
but can you add
so
put
what's a fear for you? What's something about public speaking that you feel a little unsure of?
It's basically the people. I don't really like looking people directly in the eye sometimes, and it's like kind of nerve wracking just to having to present in front of people because it's people are judgmental these days. So whatever comments they say to you, it just gets to you and it starts making you nervous and you start stuttering and stuff.
Okay, that's it. Those stares, right? And sometimes we see things because we're already fearful about the speaking in public, and then you happen to look at the person that's not giving you a smile, they're giving you the eye roll, right? So yes, Vonnie, that's a good one. Anyone else wants to go? Let's see. Sean, do you have a fear around public speaking or something that feels uncomfortable when it comes to public speaking?
Yeah, I get distracted very easily, so I'd probably like mess up a lot if I do public speaking.
Okay, so sometimes what I'm hearing is that you can get off track or you might forget where you left off because everything is happening at that time and it's a lot of pressure, right? Okay, cool. Anyone else? Ernest?
For me, it's the same thing that Jeremy said, just like speaking. Because that's just, it's hard. It's nerve wracking.
So what part of the speaking do you think is the most nerve-wracking?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Do we have Kristen?
I actually wrote in the chat, but I'll say what I've said anyway.
Oh,
My anxiety will kick in like right before I have to speak, and it'll like make everything more difficult than it has to be.
okay. And I just did a workshop last weekend. Well, yeah, this past weekend, and we talked about public speaking and putting together a pitch. And so many of the people who were in attendance, they talked about their body physically going through the motions right before they had to do something. So whether it's, getting a little bit shaky, the legs are shaking, having to go use the restroom, it just doesn't feel good. And all the heightened feelings are there. I want to tell you right now that that's okay. Actually, when you're in the height of being nervous right before something, it's because something big is going to happen and your body is responding to the unknown. And oftentimes when we're nervous, we probably do a better job because we're way more focused on what we need to get done. Have you ever been overly confident and then when you go to do something, you forget everything? But when you're nervous, everything that you're supposed to do is right here at the forefront. So you're more than likely going to remember more things because you were thinking about it over and over again versus the thing that you feel so confident about that you may have not practiced or you didn't look it over because you were just overly confident, right? So nerves are sometimes a good thing. We say, turn your butterflies and make it work for you. All right. So now that we have an idea about some of the issues when it comes to thinking about who we are, our nerves, and public speaking in general, what I want to do now, I'm going to actually ask if I could share a document with Toya. If you could send me your email, I'm going to maybe share it with you.
Okay, it's in the chat.
Okay. So right now, you see all these tech issues are happening right at the start of having to present to you all. But that's fine because I know public speaking like the back of my hand and everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. So as we're thinking about some of the steps in creating your pitches, it's important that you remain centered in the information that you want to disseminate to your audience. So what is the first thing that you should be thinking about before creating a pitch? Before you have all your information, what are some of the things that you should be thinking about? You can unmute yourself and
Jonathan put in the chat box your topic.
yes, your topic. So yes, you should know what topic. In this case, could I just hear quickly, what is your business idea? If you had to just tell me in a few seconds, like what your business idea was, you don't have to pitch it yet, but are you in the idea of coming up with a clothing line or a business? Like, it could be a chef's business. Yes, Jeremy.
Real estate.
Real estate. Okay. So we have a real estate business. What else? Yes, Bonnie.
A chef.
A chef? Okay, so maybe a restaurant or like, I have shoe company. Also in chefing, like maybe you want to bake and just sell goods, right? Anyone else? A hair salon. An athlete, if that counts too. So Jonathan, while you may want to be an athlete, the entrepreneurship piece of it becomes the brand, right? So like when you want to get branding or you want companies to back you, that becomes your business side of your profession. So you automatically have to play for a sports team, But then when you become a brand ambassador, that's when you're trying to figure out what brands do I want to connect with, who has the story that definitely aligns with my goals, right? If we could go to the slide. So today you're going to be practicing your pitch. We're going to be doing a 1-minute pitch, and then we're going to get feedback to help you so that at the last class, when you really go in front of all of the mentors and you kind of showcase what your idea is, you'll have a better understanding of how to put together that pitch. Next. So some of the things that we are going to do, we already went through the baggage check and we talked about some of our public speaking woes. Now we're going to go into some tips around public speaking. We're going to practice that by selling a few things, which is a quick activity. And then we are going to create our own pitches based on some of the things that you all wrote. So someone said cosmetics. Someone is going to have their own brand as an athlete. Someone else said shoe a shoe company, a car company. So we have a lot of companies on the call. So this is great. So in coming up with your corporations, coming up with your brick and mortar, what is that going to be, right? So if we could go to the next slide. So we already did baggage check, so we can check that. And we talked about some of our public speaking woes. The one thing I want you to know is whether you have anxiety, whether you feel like you're going to forget everything that you prepared to say, there may be a time where those things do happen. So I don't want to give out false hope. There are going to be times where you mess up. There's going to be times where you're so nervous that you forget some of your lines. There are going to be times where there are going to be people in the audience that are not going to have a smiley face in the audience. That's okay. That's the what. That's what's happening. So what? Those things happen, right? All those things are going to help you be better next time. If you look at all the different entrepreneurs and all of the successful people in the world, they all said that they didn't learn and get where they are because they didn't try and fail. Majority of them failed 10, 15 times. Jordan didn't even make it to his high school basketball team. Oprah did not get certain jobs in certain rooms that were media and journalists. People that we now admire, they went through a season of no. They went through a season of failure. They went through a season of making mistakes. So don't look at any mistake that happens now and think that you're still not going to be on track. You're still going to be on track. So it's not about the what happened. It's not about the so what it happened. It's now what. Right? And that's what we're going to be working on today. What is the now what? And the now what is, I want to know, how are you going to pitch your hair salon or pitch a person who is an angel investor who wants to give you money to start your own business, right? So you want to know what you're getting into. So you want to know what your overall purpose is. When you get in front of people, you want to know, am I pitching the business aspect because I need customers, or am I pitching the business because I need investors? Am I pitching the business because I need marketing or I need partnership and I can't do this by myself? So it's really important for you to research your audience before you come up with your pitch. So I forget who said that they wanted to do real estate. So if you have a real estate company, Jeremy, who might you pitch your business to?
I'd probably pitch my business to people who are looking for a home. Because that's the whole point of real estate, to house people who want to be housed.
Absolutely. So you're in the business of creating, I don't know, creating a small message that's going to speak to people who are looking for homes. Hopefully they want to buy $1 million homes so that you get that good commission. And then remember who's helping you out, right? At S.O.A.R, right? You're going to remember your people, right? So the realtors, right? You also are pitching your business to people who want to sell their homes. Because while you are pitching your business so that people can buy the home, you also want to build your business. And the only way that build the business is to tell people, hey, I do such a good job at getting people to buy homes. Don't you want me to represent you because you're looking for a buyer right now? So you have two different types of people that you're selling your business to, if that makes sense, right? So what you tell a person that you want them to use you to sell their home is going to look a little different than what you tell the person that you're trying to get the home sold. So just think about that. And I want everyone to think about that. For those of you, let's see, Kristen, you said hair salon. Who's your audience?
People who look like me.
So people who look like you. But when you think about creating your pitch, who do you want your pitch to reach? Is it the customer, or are you looking for someone to invest in you in the education to become a stylist? Like, who's your audience? Who are you thinking about pitching your business to?
The customers.
Okay, so the customers. So what are some of the things you want to make sure you have?
Like, I guess my mission statement and my vision statement.
So you want your
my
mission
research.
and your vision, but you also want people to see that when you do hair, people walk out what?
They walk out happy.
They walk
They're
out
happy with
happy,
their
they walk out
services.
satisfied. You know, they look like something when they leave. So you want visuals, right? Because
Yes.
the proof is in the pudding. That's why people have social media. That's why people are using visuals to sell a lot of the things that words might be too wordy, and the proof is in the pudding. This is what she looked like before, and this is what she looked like after, right? So you're in the business of beautification. So you want to make sure that everything that you say and do, someone is going to leave and say, I want to go to that hair salon. But what's going to make your hair salon a bit different from the average hair salon that you see all the time?
Well, in the area that I'm in, there's not a lot of hair salons that do our hair. So that would make me different from everybody
so that's
else.
your niche, right? You're like, your niche is, I'm going to set up shop where I know people that look like me don't have a hair salon to go to in this area. So I'm going to make sure that every hair salon that I create and build, I'm going to make sure that I place it in a neighborhood that is lacking Black hairstylists. All right, I like it. So we're going to talk more to everyone else as we go through. But right now, do you all get the idea around knowing who your audience is? Because that's going to determine who you pitch it to. All right, so number 2, you want to learn to love the logistics. So where are you going to be speaking about your business, right? Sometimes this can happen in the elevator. This could be a teacher that you currently know. This could be a neighbor that could easily tell people about your business, or you could be in a formal setting, like let's say the last class day. Imagine if all of the mentors and everyone at S.O.A.R who sits on the board invited a very important VIP person to hear your pitches. You want to make sure that you bring your A game, correct? So we're going to talk about what that looks like. So for some of you, you want visuals put up. For others, you want to make sure that you have maybe activities. You want to know what the space looks like. You want to make sure that your audio and visual makes sense. You want to make sure that you know exactly who is going to be in the audience, so you know exactly what to say. Next slide. I'm so sorry. You also want to be memorable. Can anyone off the bat tell me who is the most memorable person that when they speak, perform? Just think about any celebrity or any person that you admire. Bonnie, who do you want to name?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, so why, oh, I have him there too. Why Martin Luther King? What about him is memorable?
Well, he was the person who wrote the I Have a Dream speech for all Black people around.
All right, so why is the I Have a Dream speech so popular? How come we all remember I Have a Dream? Think about it. What about it?
The emotion behind it.
Right, emotions, repetition. How many times does he say I have a dream in the I Have a Dream speech? Probably about 20, 30 times. So if there's anything you remember, is that what? Martin Luther King had a what?
He had a dream.
He had a dream, right? If you think about your favorite artist, anyone want to name their favorite artist? Who's your favorite artist? Let's see.
Music artist?
It could be any. It could be music artist. It could be an artist. Anyone famous?
Little Uzi Vert. Excuse me.
Okay.
Little Uzi Vert.
Okay, and why?
I just like his music. It's really good.
J.
So
Cole.
his music. So what about his music makes him memorable?
It puts me in a good mood.
Okay, so you vibe with him, right? And then maybe some of the lyrics you can kind of understand, and it seems like he gets you or not, right? So there's some type of connection there. Jonathan?
I forgot
tried
mine.
to- What did you say?
I said I forgot it.
Oh, is there anyone? Okay, so we have J. Cole. Why J. Cole, Jeremy?
He is a lyricist. Like his lyrics, if you really listen to him, or if you would just like look up the lyric videos on YouTube, like his lyrics really speak to you, and he's like a storyteller. He tells stories through his music that many people can relate to. So I think that's why he's such a popular artist, that a lot of people can relate to his music.
Okay, so being able to relate to the music, Jonathan said facts. That was his answer. And J. Cole is popular because he has this real factor, right? He's not trying to play up anything, and people really believe that what he's saying, you can actually see some of the storytelling, you see it come to life, and he feels authentic. Like there's no hidden agenda. Who he is who he is, right? All right, so what we're gonna do, I want everyone to start practicing what a pitch could feel and look like before we get into actually pitching the things that we care about. So it's easier sometimes to have fun and learn how to pitch. Who here has ever heard or stayed up really late and you ended up waking up to see an infomercial where they're like, for $9.99, you too can have this? Anyone? Or is it just me? I'm the only one that stays up a little late. You know those cheesy commercials sometimes, and they're selling brooms that have music or just stuff that you may or may not need, right? Oh, JR said he said sometimes they get me to buy stuff that I don't want, but you caught me when I'm tired and it seemed cool. And it's always, and if you call right now, you get an extra one, right? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna break everyone up into groups, and you all are going to try to sell something that's really hard to sell. So in your groups, if you are in, let's see, I'm gonna make a breakout room. How many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm gonna have 4 rooms. And I'm gonna put everyone in those rooms. So if you're in room 1, you are going to be the mic with no sound. If you're in room 2, you are going to be the cup with no bottom. If you're in room 2, if you're in room number 3, you're going to have to sell gum with no flavor. And if you're in room number 4, you have to sell a clock with no hands. Everyone's looking at me like, what? So the first room, you are going to have a mic with no sound. So you have to sell a mic that does not have sound to music artists. Number 2, if you have a cup with no bottom, you have to sell this to a coffee shop. 3, if you have gum with no flavor, you have to sell this to high schoolers. And 4, if you have a clock with no hands, you get to sell this item to teachers. Don't look so stressed. It's fun. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, okay. I'm just looking at I'm looking at everyone's expression. Okay, so you all are gonna end up in your Zoom rooms. Are you ready? You're gonna get 5 minutes to come up with a way to sell this item. So again, what are we doing? Mic with no sound, a cup with no bottom, gum with no flavor, and a clock with no hands. And you want to be as creative as possible. You want to make sure that everyone on your team plays a role. And just really think about your audience when you're coming up with your pitch to them as to why they should buy this unsellable item from you, okay? So in 5 minutes, you're gonna work together, you're gonna come back and you're gonna present it to the group, and it'll give you somewhat of a little taste of what it's gonna be like when you're creating your own pitches for yourself, okay? So you ready to go? All right, see you all soon. Amy.
Well, I don't know if you'll be able to hear them because they have no sound. I'm joking.
Har. So I'm ready whenever you are. And to make it better, if everyone but the first group can cut off their camera, then we can only focus on the people that are doing their pitch, their sell.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so only the mic people should have their cameras on. All right, and go.
Hi, my name is Ernest Akoff. I would like to sell you a mic with no sound. Now, everybody, right? Everybody likes to play a prank every once in a while, especially on people they know, because it's fun. It's like super fun. So, product, right? This mic, while it can't amplify the sound, it can play that sound to anywhere else. Basically airdropping whatever sound you sing it or say into this mic. Like if you shout into this mic and your friend just happens to have their AirPod in, you can then have that sound go into the AirPod. And now your friend unfortunately has to have you screaming in their ear for however long you want. It's the perfect pranking device.
All right, so it's a pranking device. Is that the end? How much is it? What's the price point? What are the last features that you want to let us know about?
So the price, right? I'm gonna make it like real affordable. I'm gonna say only like $10 because like it's fun. It's something meant for fun,
It's a
and
prank device.
it could go really well, like with that watch with no hands. It looks so well. They look so well together. They just look so well.
All right, Ernest, who was your team member?
Amy.
Amy, is there anything you want to add that maybe was left out?
That was basically it.
No, this is good. All right, everyone, turn your cameras back on. We're gonna give some quick feedback within a minute. So what are some of the things that the Mike with No Sound group did well? Like what were some of the key features that you remember, Jeremy?
So he made it relatable. Like since most of us are like teenagers, we like to play pranks on our friends because that's just the thing that we do. So like that was a good way. That was a good like way to use a mic because I would buy it for that sole purpose. Even if it was a one-time thing, I would buy it because that would be hilarious.
Okay, so it was relatable, right? And you saw the fun in the product. Okay, anything else? Anything else that you remember from the pitch?
Good price.
What happened? Oh, the price. The price is affordable. Okay. Now, when we think about some feedback to help enhance what we heard, what is one thing that they could have added to their pitch to kind of bring it all home? Sanaya. What's something Ernest and Amy could have added that would help enhance their pitch?
I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Anyone else? Sean?
Can you repeat the question?
Anything that Ernest and Amy could add to their pitch to kind of take it to the next level?
Probably another reason why that you would buy it. Like,
Okay.
when I heard of it,
Joking.
I was thinking like when I heard it, I was thinking like artists, they could like use it to like practice like fake perform and stuff like that.
Okay, so Sean made a good point, right? So I love that you, Ernest and Amy, took a spin to the product and who you were selling it to, but the original audience member was in fact a person who is an artist, right? So it could be play jokes on other artists right before, they go on, they have your Mic with No Sound, and then you go on and you win, the talent show, or you win the contest, but not forgetting who the audience member is, right? So I love the idea. I like that you gave us, details as to how you can use it, when you could use it, how much money it will cost, the fact that it would be so much fun. And then you even added accessories at the end. So good stuff. Just remember who your audience member is and make sure that when you are selling it, that they know this is for them. So good stuff. Thanks, Ernest. Who was next? Who wants to go next? Who is in room 2? All right, Sean. So who is on your team? If everyone else can cut off the cameras.
It was me and Sanaya.
All right, you and Sanaya.
So our thing was gum with no flavor. So we calling it Invisigum. So
Invisible.
yeah, Invisigum. So like, you know, you think gum without flavor is useless, right? Because it has no flavor or whatever. But it actually it'll probably be very helpful for people who have anxiety, because when people have anxiety, they usually are like fidgety and move around a lot, or they like will have like a mental breakdown. The gum will help them like keep calm and like distract them from what is making them nervous or anxious. So it will like help for that. And another reason is I know nobody here, I hope nobody here smokes cigarettes. It's not very good, but so like people who are trying to stop doing that, they could chew the gum, because when usually people who are trying to stop smoking cigarettes, they like have to like constantly do something or move around or whatever. So the gum could help them like keep away from that so they can stay healthy. So cigarettes are, they cause cancer, not very healthy. And gum is probably like $2 or something. So I'm gonna just make it 150, affordable for people who would need it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, there you go, Invisigo. All right, Sanaya, anything you want to add to it, or did Sean bring it home the way you expected?
I got one more example.
Okay.
That's, for example, like if you get on a plane and your ears get clogged, it could help you pop them by chewing the gum. So.
All right. So that's another use for high schoolers who are dealing with anxiety, going on planes, people trying to quit some bad habits. You gave us a few. So anyone else, we can put our cameras back on. Anything that you remember from this, or what stuck out? I saw a lot of comments in the chat box. Jeremy, Ernest, what would you like to add or give feedback around?
They gave good reasons.
Okay, so we got really good reasons or examples of why you should buy their product, Ernest.
The name Invisigum just sounds like really good. It just sounds like something you want to eat.
Right. So they brand, this is important, right? They took something very quickly and they branded it. They gave it a name, right? So if you think about the mic, what would you name the mic? So they were able to brand the gum that is tasteless, but when you give it a brand, it's not just tasteless gum. It has a name, right? So when things have a name, you look at it differently, you market it different, you take it a bit more seriously, right? I think I saw in the chat box someone said it's backed by the FDA, right? So these are all the extra things that you can do to really bring home and sell your product. That, I mean, for last minute, that was a pretty impressive name. So you impressed us with the name. Invisigo, Invisalign, it has something to do with chewing and teeth. So, it connects. All right, who's our other two? Invisigum. Sorry, I said Invisalign, Invisigo. Who's next? Who had the clock with no hands?
That was me and Bonnie.
All right, so let's go. Let's see.
Bonnie, did you see the message in the chat before we start?
There was a message.
Yeah, I sent a direct message to you.
All right, so do you want to wait and we do a cup with no bottom?
Oh, I got the message.
Okay, so you want to go now?
Okay.
Okay, you can start.
Okay. Have you ever been overly distracted with the time? Are your students more interested in what time they leave versus what's being taught? Feast your eyes on our handless clock. Price can be about $4.99.
That's what the price is going to be. Whenever your students look at the clock, they'll realize there's no hands and they'll focus on their work and won't worry about losing time in class. Why buy a clock with no hands when you can buy our handless clock for half the price? And I guarantee your students will pay more attention and learn more.
Ooh, okay. So, when I think about before we go to break, I'm just thinking about all the stuff that you all are saying, like you're really hitting all of the pieces. So I love how you said, instead of buying a clock with no hands, by the what?
Handless clock. Handless.
Handless clock. So you're literally selling someone what they already have, but you're telling them, but if you buy ours, we will ensure that your students are going to pay attention. You had the opening, the questions, to the high schoolers. So yes, but so do you see all the stuff? You got the whole chat going, right? But when you really think about it, you knew exactly who your audience was. It wasn't the students, it was the teachers. So that's why you wanted to make sure that you let them know the students are going to pay attention. Whereas the students probably want the clock for a different reason, so that they could make believe that it's already the end of the school day, even though they just got there an hour ago, right? So depending on who your audience is, you can always change it. So I thought that was a great pitch. And we are going to close out with the last pitch, and then we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to be working on our own pitches based on what we want to be, that you all put in the chat earlier. That's why the students are mad. You see everyone's talking in this chat group. All right, so who's our last? Who's the cup with no bottom?
That would be me, ma'am.
All right, Jeremy. I know you're not by yourself. Who's on your team?
Jonathan. Makai has no mic, so
Yeah, like we were gonna trade him off to the guys with no mic, but
yeah, but
we didn't want to give off points.
He'll be here in spirit.
Yeah.
Trading people, Makai. I'm sorry, they're over here trying to trade you. Use the chat box. Be there in spirit with the chat box. All right, so Jeremy and Jonathan, you're gonna hold up your team member Makai, who's with you in the chat box. How are you gonna bring us home with the cup with no bottom?
All right, Jonathan, you want to start?
Huh?
You want to start? No? All right. So look, coffee shops would think cups with no bottoms are useless, right? But our cup, name made by Jonathan, hole-in-one ink, you could use it as a decoration in your coffee shops. You could put it on the wall and show off designs of cups that you would like to sell to your customers. You could use it as a display. You could use it as a display outside the coffee shop, even to attract more attention and more people to be intrigued as to, oh, let me go in there and see what it is. You could also use the cup to show off, how big a small, medium, or large cup in the shop would be. And on that cup, you could have the price written on it so that people know how much it would be worth when they walk in the coffee shop and don't have to ask. And Jonathan, you could take it home for us, man.
Wow. Okay. I like how you did that bit. All right. Also adding on, we can give it to the money that we get, which the price actually is $3.99 plus tax. And we can also give it to the people school related, teachers, of course, for whenever they feel like that students are giving them a hard time and they have to find a way to get back somehow, like bring a hole with no cup. See, bring some juice to school, be like, for the ones who were troublemakers, give it to them. They get nothing to drink.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's the teachers payback time.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna give the money to charity. We're gonna give the money.
10% profit, 10% profit.
Yup. We're also gonna sell it to LeBron James, who also became a teacher, baseball now. And if you ever find this advertisement, buy one pack, get one pack free. Call 1-391-717-4080. Do not wear around eyes. Disclaimer. Trying to keep people safe.
All right.
Hole in One Corporation. Yeah.
Also,
What?
you
This.
can find our cups at Target, BJ's, and Walmart near you.
Oh,
Although I advise BJ's because it will be like 50% cheaper.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We called the owner up like a couple minutes ago when we did this presentation.
Yeah.
nice. All right. So I want everyone to give you all a round of applause. I think everyone did a great job. Turn on your cameras. So this is awesome. Before we head to break, I just want to get some feedback. I love that everyone is beginning to name their product. That's one key step. I love that you knew who your audience was, so you made sure that your pitch made sense to coffee shops. You had a product in mind. You even gave us a little demo, little sample. One key thing that you did with the cup that progressively is something that's very important is that you gave us a way to contact you, right? So when you are doing your pitches, I think everyone is going to make sure that when you leave someone, they know how to contact you again. Maybe you have a website, maybe you have a number. So I love that all of you are progressively really developing and enhancing the product. So as you saw from the first pitch, it progressively, people began to add more as they realized, oh, my audience members need to know more. So right now we're going to do a quick 10-minute break. When we get back, we're going to talk about what you need to input and add to your own pitches so that when you have your 1-minute pitch at the end of class, you get to take a stab at discussing what you want to be and do. So whether it's your business idea or the hopes that you have for your future, we're going to see what that looks like between 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, so we're going to take a break. You all are on fire. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the fact that you're also creative. This is a really good group. Who has fake eyebrows? I don't know. I probably have to.
Listen, there's this filter that my mother has on this computer, and I do not know how to take it off. So it looks like I have fake eyebrows right now. If I move back, you can see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the makeup. If you go to video, you'll find it.
Professor K, your students do not want to leave. I hear that.
You know, if we don't want the break,
Right. Like, y'all got break, y'all go on, shoot, man.
if we don't want
are on
the
break.
I'm here. Whoever wants to ask questions, if you need anything, I'm here. So I'm not taking a break. So if you need me and you want to, talk something out, then we absolutely can. If not, you can turn your cameras off, rock out. You got about 8 minutes now. We'll be back at 8:11.
There we go.
All right, so take it away.
All right, so my name is Jeremy. The name of my business will be JB Realty, and we're gonna be focused on improving poverty and trying to get homeless people off the street. I'd like to tell you about a great opportunity to find a place that you can call home. It's a business where we would give a tour of the house or apartment, see whether you like it or not. And since we fixed it up prior, it would have most, if not all, of your needs that you would find in a home. It could improve your life by helping you find the best place that best suits you and your family. It costs however much we sell it for, where prices can vary. We're gonna try to limit the price as much as possible so that you don't get affected too much by the tax. And you can contact the business at 999-999-99999 or jbrealty@gmail.com.
All right. Let's give a round of applause. Good stuff, Jeremy. It sounds like you did your market research. It sounds like you have a good understanding of what a buyer is looking for in a home. I loved your pitch. And of course, as you actually know what the homes will look like, you'll have better understanding of what to pick out based on what they say they want. So good stuff. What I will do is say, start to think about your business as a business. Like, don't think about just the home. Think about what does it mean to have Jeremy Realty, you said?
JB Realty.
JB Realty. So think about JB Realty as a brand. What are people getting from JB Realty that they can't get anywhere else, right? And you can say that you're a young real estate, mogul, and go from there. All right. So next person. Actually, we'll just take a good 3 or whoever wants to go, and at least you all know how to go through this process in creating your pitch, right? Who else? Yes, Sean.
All right, I'll go. It does start now, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm Sean McLaren's, and my business is a car manufacturing company. It's called McLaren's, and it's trying to solve the problem of organic gas. So like gas, regular gas that like kills the earth. So we're trying to make gas that doesn't do that, and we're trying to make reliable and safer travel for people. And we're gonna do this by and like putting in systems like that, like if you're going over the speed limit, it slows you down, or if you start like swerving off, it will like control the car for you if you can't do it. And yeah.
All right, Sean. So I'm getting that you're in the business of safety and also being environmentally sound. Okay, so that's a brand. So good stuff, good stuff. I love that you reiterated McLaren's a few times. So I knew to, like, I wouldn't forget your name. I wouldn't forget your business because you did the repetition, and then you talked about safety. You talked about cars. You talked about, how the gas and being safe for the environment, which a lot of people care about. So this is a good start. Do you see how you're progressing and beginning to figure out, like, how do I create the story that I want other people to know and sell? You're all doing it. And you talked about having fear of not knowing what to say. And you've been saying a lot of good stuff. So don't count yourself out. Who else wants to go? Anyone else want to take a stab at it? I'm loving what I'm hearing so far. You all did an amazing job with what with the hard to sell objects. I know that we are low, if not out of time, but hopefully after today, you now feel a bit more confident in coming up with creating your beginnings to your pitches. Yes, Jeremy?
So Ernest said that he would love to volunteer and, just send us home with a great pitch, an amazing pitch.
All right, Ernest, you got the setup. Everyone, We're giving you good vibes.
All right, my name is Ernest Akoff, and my business is something called it's gene editing, and something called the creation. The creation of something I like to call the S cell. This cell, right, would allow you to fly, shoot energy beams from your hands, like give you super strength, enough to like lift a building. The reason that you should fund me, my audience would be like government contractors. So the reason that you should fund me is because this cell is granting you superpowers, but not in a normal way. It would basically make you stronger as your emotions grow instead of just physical set strength. I'm sorry, that really was all I came up with. I haven't really practiced that because I got put on the spot.
It's all right. Jeremy put you on the spot.
It's all right. We're helping you get better. Helping you get better.
Put on the spot and you still went for it. So let's give him a round of applause, everyone. We could definitely tease that out a bit so that you could think about like what is, like I like when you started talking about the emotional piece of it and getting strong, not just physically, but also emotionally. That was a good sell. And just thinking about calling things superpowers, even though they're realistic, right? Like realistic things that you then can put the label of superpower to. So awesome. I just want you to get a little bit more clear on what your product is, and then we'll discuss that a little bit more. But you have a lot of mentors here at S.O.A.R that can absolutely help fine tune those things. You can also reach out to any of the instructors, including myself, to make sure that you're getting support and that you're getting the help that you need to have a sound business at the end of this experience, or at least an idea. Please don't forget to fill out the form. I think
I did. I put it in.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. So make sure that link. I feel like a YouTuber influencer. Make sure to click that link and like and subscribe. No. I had an amazing time with you all this evening. Thank you for rocking out with me from 7 to 8:30. I know you might have some more reading. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to hang out with us, and that's pretty dope and cool. And I'm so excited to hear what you guys come up with at the end. So remember, it's okay, write your script, but make sure that you have your audience in mind. Make sure you have a price point. Make sure you know what you're asking of them. Are you asking them for time? Are you asking them for money? Are you asking them to be a client? Are you asking them, what are you asking them to do? And how is your product or your business different from what is already out there? It needs to be, right? So thank you so much. Jeremy, you have any last words?
So I have a question.
Yes.
So for the advanced one, do we all automatically get an email of the link, or do we like just tell you if we want to do it or not?
Oh, I think that's a administrator, Tiana or JR or Chastity or
Jeremy, we'll be sending out information on the advanced class. So you'll be included in those communications. So you'll get something soon, okay?
All right.
You can sign up.
Okay.
But you can go to our website and there should be a link there for the advanced courses so you can apply.
Okay.
and pick up where you left off. Some of you probably feel like you didn't come up with the perfect pitch. It does not have to be perfect. You have to start somewhere, right? So it's okay if your thoughts are not fully developed around your business. But as long as you at least answer a few of those questions, you're good to go. I'm actually going to make this a PDF and send it so that you all can have a copy of all the different slides. So if you have to look at it and use it as a marketing tool to help you really work on your pitch, you can do that. And remember to practice, 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 get comfortable with it, maybe connect with each other and find a time to kind of like pitch it to one another, because you're all in this together and you have a great staff that's really going to support you to make sure that your business is sound and that it's going to soar. No pun intended, right? The link for the advanced for the advanced class is actually in the chat. So if you want, you could click that and just save it if you're not ready to fill it out tonight. But make sure that you click it and find out more on how you can be a part of the advanced version of this course.
Did we do the course evaluation? I know we talked about that.
If you scroll all the way up, there's a link for the course evaluation. And then, you know, Jeremy.
Then you're free to go after the course evaluation.
All right, I don't want to keep you on. I know it's late. I want to thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out a little bit later with us. Good luck. And we'll see you soon.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Shania. Bye, Amy. Oh, that's Jonathan. Bye, Jonathan.
Amazing. Yo, that was
Yes.
dope. Oh my gosh.
Great job, Key.
That was like the best one. I feel like everybody gets like better and better each time. And I don't know what it was, but I think it's the class too. It's the energy. Like they just make it so much worthwhile. It's recording still. JR, can you stop the recording?